Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here, and welcome to another Final Destination movie review. Today, I'll be reviewing Final Destination 3, which was released in 2006. The copy I have came in a 5-film collection with all 5 of the Final Destination films. Basically, all these films are just stacked on top of each other instead of like those flip discs. And I'll be reviewing Final Destination 3 today. So, Final Destination 3, what is it about? Basically, you follow a girl named Wendy and her boyfriend Jason, along with Jason's friend Kevin and Wendy's best friend Carrie. Wendy is played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's I believe this was her first movie role in the Hollywood thing. I believe this was her first movie role besides a few TV shows. I think she does a pretty good job as Wendy. You get to see Mary Elizabeth Winstead in The Thing as well, and Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She's in there too. But anyway, Final Destination 3 follows those 4 characters at the beginning. They're at a amusement park with some other high school classmates. This is actually a senior trip that they're going to a carnival or fair, and they are at a Ferris wheel. No, not a Ferris wheel. I'm sorry. They eventually go to a roller coaster. Yeah, they go to a roller coaster. And you get, but before they went to the roller coaster, you got introduced to some more characters. There's Louis Romero, Frankie Cheeks, Ashley and Ashlyn, Wendy's sister, Julie, and Perry and Julie's other friend, I forgot her name, and Ian McKinley and Aaron. So they get to the roller coaster. Wendy is taking pictures for a school yearbook that she has to turn in the day after for graduation. She's doing this for yearbooks. But they get to the roller coaster and she starts getting this bad feeling going there. Of course, like what happened in the second and first movie. But Jason eventually talks her into going on the ride. They get there. She goes in the back because she doesn't want to be in the front. She doesn't want to see the tracks. They start the ride. They go. Everything seems cool. But Frankie actually snuck a camera onto the ride. Not only that, but the hydraulic fluid actually started leaking because of what happened with Louis and his seatbelt on the ride. They pushed down a little too hard. The hydraulic fluid got undone. So they go there. And they're on the ride. Ride's going okay, but when Frankie's camera gets smacked away by the 2 girls, Ashley and Ashlyn, they run over the camera and all hell breaks loose. You got people flying out of the carts. All the carts go flying. People are dying one after another. Then eventually, it's just Kevin and Wendy left. Kevin gets killed after they back the cart up. Then Wendy falls to her death, but whoa, it's a premonition, and she saw that. Then, of course, the stuff in her premonition starts happening in real life. She freaks out. They let most of the people off except for Jason and Carrie. Then, eventually a fight breaks out between Louis and Kevin. Everybody gets pulled off except Jason and Carrie. They go on the ride anyway, along with 5 other passengers. Then, as they're leaving, they see the ride get destroyed, and Wendy saw the whole thing. She saw Jason and Kevin's girlfriend die in the accident. After this, Wendy has survivor's guilt. She doesn't want anything to do with the high school graduation. She's not going to the ceremony. Kevin tries talking her into it, but she doesn't want to go. She basically has survivor's guilt after what happened. Some more things start happening. Kevin actually tells her about her premonition and how Alex Browning did the same thing. If you don't know by this point, The producers of this film didn't like the way Final Destination 2 kind of tied into the first movie, so they made this its own sort of movie. It exists in the same universe as 1 and 2, but none of the characters come back, and they just briefly mention what happened in the previous two. That basically it's its own thing now. So, Wendy leaves, all that, but then Ashley and Ashlyn die in a sauna bed. One of the more terrifying deaths in the series, I gotta be honest. But after this happens, Wendy starts having the same thing Alex and Kimberly did in the first two movies. Then after that, the same thing repeats itself, and everybody starts dying. Final Destination 3, honestly, I didn't like it as much as 2 and 1, I gotta be honest. Characters weren't really all that interesting, except for like maybe Wendy, Julie, and Kevin. I just wasn't interested in the others. There's only a few in here that I'm interested in. The kills were alright. I feel like they used more CGI in these kills, though. There were only a few that used practical. I'm not a fan of this movie by any means. The ending to this movie, of course, was repeated from the first movie. Not the second, though, because the second, you actually had 2 people survive. If you didn't know, the third film actually came in its own release, but it had a choose your way to control the movie. It doesn't come in this thing, but that's alright. I'm just mainly focusing on the 5 movies. I'm fine if I didn't get that. I can get it later. But basically that just had alternate death scenes, and it actually came with the alternate ending for the movie. But anyways, like I was saying, the ending to this movie was alright. The kills were pretty good. But it just felt like a cop-out for the ending. I just didn't really enjoy 3 all that much. But there were some good parts. I do like some of the kills. Wendy's an interesting character. I really enjoy her. I love how Mary Elizabeth Winstead portrayed her. But the producers of this movie, I feel like made a mistake not wanting to continue off the second. It was just a bad mistake. And the 4th movie can definitely show for that. Let me just tell you right now, 4th movie is going to be horrible. I'm really scared to review it. Just by the way I reacted 2 to 3 years ago, I just wasn't a fan. I'm gonna review it for this channel, though. Maybe my opinion will change on it. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Final Destination 3. The premonition was cool with the whole roller coaster. Characters weren't all that interesting, but whatever. Final Destination 3. If I had to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, maybe 6 or 6.5. Somewhere in there. 6 to 6.5. It just wasn't as interesting to me as 2 and 1, I gotta be honest. It wasn't as fun. None of the characters were really all that interesting except for Wendy and Kevin. But that's just my opinion. That's just how I felt. I didn't really love this movie as some other people did. But what is everyone's thoughts on Final Destination 3? Let me know down in the comment section down below. I would really love to hear everyone's thoughts on this. Happy New Year to everybody out there. I forgot to say that in my last review. I apologize. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next review. Bye, everyone.